I'm about to show you 3 ways to 10x your real estate business in 2025. Just like how I took one of my clients, Alice, from closing 1 deal in her entire first year to having over 7 deals in the pipeline in just over a month. There are 3 strategies that you can start implementing today to double, triple, and eventually 10x your real estate business in the next year. And I'm about to break them down right now so you can see exactly what they are, how they work, and even give you a step-by-step process of implementing them into your business so that you can grow fast without having to spend a ton of time cold calling, prospecting, or door knocking. And these are the exact same strategies that I've helped over 50 realtors and real estate business owners implement in order to scale and make a lot more money in their real estate business. All right, now the 3 ways that we are going to be, the 3 strategies we're going to be using in order to blow up this real estate business in 2025 are going to be built up of volume-based front-end marketing, a highly trained ISA or inside sales agent team, and automated long-term follow-up. These are the 3 key components in order for you to scale your real estate business quickly. Now, I'm going to dive into each one of these 3 pillars, each one of these 3 strategies that make up, the ability in order to grow at a rapid pace in 2025. So to touch on the first one, volume-based front-end marketing, this is how we're actually getting leads in the door. Every real estate transaction starts off with a lead, a simple name, a phone number, or an email, essentially. And now we need a predictable way of actually being able to generate those leads on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, and we need to be able to do it consistently. I've got some random mock numbers in here. They're actually based off of one of the agents that we're partnered with. They wanted to add 6 figures, essentially, of GCI to their pipeline every single quarter. Now, this isn't anything too crazy. We have agents that do a lot more than this, but this was a newer agent. I think this was her 2nd year in the business. Obviously, that's a pretty good goal for her. And so I've got some of her numbers and her metrics plugged in here to start off and just to kind of give some ideas as far as potential conversion rates go. But as far as that front end marketing funnel goes, you're typically going to be doing this through paid ads. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can generate leads. Paid ads is the one that gives you the biggest return on your investment, and that's accounting for time as well. Of course, you can call FSBOs and expireds for free all day long, but you're paying for those with your time because you have to manually sort through them. It's a huge pain. You got a lot of bad numbers or a lot of people blocking you, a lot of people hanging up on you all the time. It is a funnel that you can use to generate leads on an inbound basis so that they are coming to you, and you only have to give the ones that are willing to give you attention your attention back. So to start off, you're going to figure out, are we targeting buyers or are we targeting sellers? There's obviously different strategies for both of these, but to just show you a basic one on the seller side, for example, and I'm sure you've seen things like this quite a bit. I'm sure you've seen ads like this in your market, or basic home evaluation campaigns. Or, if you're a little bit more advanced of an agent and you have the ability to offer your clients a cash offer, whether you're making the offer to them yourself or you have a investor, for example, who's going to be making that offer for them, you're going to be able to make a few different offers in that case. Kind of like these ones at the bottom here, need to sell, we'll buy your house fast for cash. These are just some examples of split tests that we've run in the past that have done really well. So feel free to take a little bit of inspiration from these. But as far as your front end goes, you want to be monitoring these metrics every single day. Now, we do most of our marketing on Facebook and Instagram because we're able to generate the cheapest leads as possible on that platform. And you can see some screenshots right here. All of these leads that we're generating are under $10. We've lately even been managing to get consistent under $5 leads, which is great. Sellers tend to be closer to 10 or 15 or so, but even still, that's really good. And if you're spending $30, $40, $50 a day, you can be getting a couple good leads in every single day. Now, the hard part is going to be actually staying on top of those and sorting through them, and that leads us to our next strategy. So to wrap up the front end marketing, you want to use a paid ads funnel, spending around $30 to $50 a day on your ads, and you're going to be either targeting buyers or sellers using a home evaluation or cash offer campaign. If you're targeting buyers, you're typically you can be a little bit more creative, when calling out your specific target audience. So we can call it specific neighborhoods, we can call out specific price points, even things like credit score, minimum household income, military benefits, things like that. There are a lot of different angles that you can use, and it's really all about split testing and collecting as much data as you can every single day. Now, the second strategy that we are going to be using in order to make sure that all of this converts is going to be the highly trained ISA team. So when it comes to your ISA team's performance, whether you have one ISA, you have a couple ISAs, or you're using an outsourced team, for example, like us, we have a full in-house team of inside sales agents that we train with every single day. We put a lot of work into our team. We're training with them literally for multiple hours every single day to make sure that they are converting at the highest level possible. So that's daily, setting role plays basically. So you're hopping on a Zoom call or whatever every single day, role playing the script over and over and over and over again to make sure that and then you're giving them objections as, potential buyers or potential sellers. That way they know you can stop and look over those and practice them together. You want to be tracking their numbers every single day. You give them like a KPI scorecard, basically monitoring how many dials are they making, how many pickups are they getting, so what's their pickup rate, how many pickups to quality conversations are they having. So that's another, because that's going to tell you how good their opener is. And then obviously conversation to booking, or conversation to whether they live transfer them directly to you on a call or they book them in on your calendar, what is their conversion rate. You want to be tracking all of these numbers so you actually know what they need to work on, what they need to practice. For example, if your lead to booking rate is low, then you're going to edit your setting script and practice your tonality essentially. If your pickup rate is low, then we need to change the hours of the day that we're calling. We need to start doing voicemail drops, and we need to start double dialing as well, or potentially switch up the phone number that we're actually calling from in the first place. Now, it kind of goes the opposite. When, metrics are good, for example, if your pickup rate is high, monitor what times you're calling, when that pickup rate is high, so that you can repeat that. If your lead to booking rate is high, then great. That means we can start getting even more picky with the qualifications that we're doing. So to start off, it might only make sense to have your ISA ask about a few of these topics. But once they get pretty good, like the ISAs on our team, we're making sure we touch on their budget, their time frame, their motivation, their financial status, their search criteria, making sure they're not working with an agent, all of these things before, and obviously make sure they're in the right service area, all that fun stuff. But we're touching base on all of this stuff before even connecting them with an agent. So there's some things that you can do inside your own ISA team in order to make sure that you're converting the leads that you have coming in every single day. Now, that wraps up our second pillar of this strategy. The last one is going to be the long-term follow-up. Now, I've got some screenshots of different text messages and stuff on here that you can kind of just take as inspiration or whatever you want to do, or you can just steal them. It's fine with me. But this is the part of your strategy that keeps things moving when people aren't working, because your ISA team, they're obviously not making calls in the middle of the night. You're not making calls in the middle of the night. You're not doing any of that kind of follow-up anyways to begin with. So you want to have systems in place to make it, just like you want to outsource, or just like you want to outsource the calling so that you don't have to do it anymore, you want to outsource even some of the lower leverage activities and tasks that your ISAs would be focusing on. So if your ISAs are responsible for responding to text messages, sending email follow-up messages to leads, recording their own voicemails, personalized voicemails every single time as they're reaching out to people, they may be able to get more done in the day and book more appointments, connect you with more buyers and sellers if they're focused on less, variety of things. If they're not busy responding to text messages and emails and things like that. If you can automate some of these systems, then they can focus more time on practicing, getting extra hours of practicing, being on the phones, making an extra 50 to 100 dials a day. These are all things that add up, and that compound effect really starts to kick in, and you start to see your margins increase a lot more towards the end of the year. So when it comes to this follow-up, you're basically building out automated follow-up messaging systems inside, and you can do this in any CRM. So we build this for all of our agents that we work with, but you can literally do this stuff in any CRM. You can do it in Follow-Up Boss, you can do it in Go High Level, you can do it in Sync, you can do it in Podio. Really, like any CRM out there has the capability to do this stuff for the most part. Some are limited, some are better than others in terms of, how advanced you can build these automations. But for the most part, it's pretty simple. So you want to be texting your leads as soon as they come into the system, acknowledging that you've received their information and letting them know to be on the lookout for a phone call from someone from your team, essentially. And then from there, after about an hour or so, we're going to shoot them another text, something kind of like this. You can kind of just see, Steve, this is Jessica's assistant over at saw you inquired about that list of homes on Facebook. We're able to access it all right. Super simple, very personable. It doesn't come off as like a AI chatbot or anything like this, because it's not. This is not an AI chatbot. These are handwritten messages with custom personalization that we added into them. And that's what this automation stuff is. Essentially, you're scripting out these messages and scheduling them to go out at certain time increments so that it is like you wrote them, but you only had to do it once. You don't have to handwrite these and send them out every single time. So all of this stuff, these text messages are firing all the time, 24 hours a day. That way the next morning when the ISA or yourself, if you're making your own calls, for the case of this strategy, you have somebody else making them for you. When your ISA logs into their CRM in the morning, they have a handful of text messages from people who are either not interested at all, which is totally fine. You're going to get people that are not interested, but better to have them just straight up tell you over text rather than you calling them 50 times to finally answer and they tell you that they have no interest in selling whatsoever, ever, at all, right? So this is a way that you can, again, minimize the amount of time that your ISAs have to spend working. So if you're paying them hourly, you can save money on that front. Or if you're paying them on a performance basis, they're able to perform better this way because they have extra tools at their disposal. So again, to kind of wrap everything up, the 3 strategies that will allow you to, 10x your real estate business as an agent in 2025 are going to be volume-based front-end marketing, a highly trained inside sales team, and long-term follow-up nurture sequences. If you can implement these 3 pieces into one, composed, orchestrated strategy that you're able to use throughout the entire year, you are going to have well over one of the best years in real estate that you ever have if you're able to do this efficiently. Now, if you ever want some help, if you ever would like any assistance or you have any questions about how to build out systems like this, we have a full course going over kind of how we built all of this stuff out for our agents from start to finish, so you can kind of follow along and do it yourself. And then obviously we work one-on-one with agents all over the country as well. So if you'd like to apply to actually work directly with us and have us install this system into your own business, then go ahead and click on the link down below in the description, book a call with our team. We'll see if we can help you out. If we can, great. If not, we'll give you the most value that we possibly can for free.